Every 4 years, the Olympic Games unite us in awe of extraordinary skill and spirit, from ancient Greece to modern Paris. Yet behind the glory lies a darker side, tragic stories of athletes facing heat stroke, collisions, and even death. We're diving into the haunting stories of the worst Olympic deaths in history. In 2010, the Winter Olympics in Vancouver were marked by tragedy. Among the athletes was 21-year-old Georgian, whose passion for the sport ended in devastation. The Whistler Sliding Center, known for its speed and technical difficulty, became the site of his fatal accident just hours before the opening ceremony. During a practice run, Nodar's sled veered out of control on a treacherous section of the track. He was thrown from his sled and crashed headfirst into a metal pole. Despite immediate CPR and an emergency airlift to the hospital, Nodar could not be saved. The track, completed in 2007, had been criticized for prioritizing speed, reaching up to 96 mph over safety, making every run perilous. In 1964, the Winter Olympics in Innsbruck buzzed with excitement as skiers from the globe gathered. Among them was 19-year-old Australian Ross Mill, making his Olympic debut and eager to showcase his talent in alpine skiing. Hailing from a small tobacco farm in Myrtleford, Victoria, Ross had trained extensively in Europe and was Australia's top hope in downhill skiing. However, the 1964 Olympics would prove to be a grueling test. The downhill course at Paterkopf was notoriously challenging, and an unusual lack of snow that year forced organizers to import it from other regions, creating a slick and hazardous track. Lined with bare earth, rocks, and trees, the course was unforgiving. On January 25th, during his first official training run, Ross faced a cold, overcast morning with a daunting course ahead. As he navigated one of the steepest sections, he encountered a group of skiers blocking his path. Traveling at 60 to 70 km/h, Ross swerved to avoid them but lost control. He was thrown off the course and crashed into a tree. The impact was fatal. Fellow competitors, unaware of the tragedy, continued their runs until Peter Brown, a teammate, skied past the crash site and realized the severity of the situation. Despite immediate medical attention, Ross was pronounced dead at the hospital. The aftermath sparked grief and controversy, with debates over the course's safety and the team's preparedness. Organizers blamed Ross's inexperience, while his teammates and coach criticized the course management and perilous conditions. In the sweltering summer of 1912, Stockholm hosted the Summer Olympics for the first and only time. Among the competitors was Francisco Lazaro, a 21-year-old marathon runner from Lisbon, Portugal, representing his country in its Olympic debut. Known for his unique pre-race ritual of covering his skin with oil to prevent sweating, Lazaro faced a brutal challenge under the blazing sun. The marathon, stretching 26.2 miles, tested every athlete's endurance. Lazaro started strong, but soon faced a dire situation as the heat intensified. The oil, intended to cool him down, instead trapped heat and hindered his body's ability to sweat and regulate temperature. By the 19-mile mark, the heat had taken a severe toll. Lazaro collapsed, but managed to stagger to his feet briefly before falling again, unresponsive. Rushed to a hospital, doctors worked desperately to revive him, but Francisco Lazaro never regained consciousness and died the following day from heat stroke. His death marked the first fatality in the modern Olympic Games and cast a shadow over what should have been a historic moment for Portugal. This tragedy highlighted the critical need for athlete safety, hydration, and heat management, leading to changes in marathon protocols to protect future competitors. In the scorching heat of Rome in 1960, another Olympic tragedy occurred that would forever alter discussions on doping and athlete safety. The victim was Knud Einar Jensen, a 23-year-old Danish cyclist competing in the 100-kilometer team time trial. With temperatures reaching a blistering 40 degrees, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, Jensen, one of Denmark's top amateur athletes, faced an incredibly grueling race. The intense heat led many cyclists to suffer from dehydration and heat stroke, and Jensen too felt unwell early on. As the race progressed, his condition worsened. Nearing the end, Jensen wobbled, lost his balance, and fell hard onto the asphalt, hitting his head and suffering a severe concussion. Instead of immediate cooling, he was placed in a military hospital tent where temperatures soared to 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Celsius. He lay unconscious for nearly 2 hours before medical staff could act. Despite their efforts, Jensen's condition rapidly deteriorated due to dehydration and heat stroke, leading to his death. Our channel is full of such stories. Like and subscribe to support this channel.